Welcome to the Made in New York Animation Project Showcase. And welcome to everyone joining the TAP Showcase virtually on the live stream through our partners at BronxNet TV. I am Yaritza Montano, and I am proud to be a TAP training program alumni.
And I'm Joseph Benitez. I'm proud to be here as a former Neon participant. We have an exciting and jam-packed celebration for you. We've got keynote speaker Matt Munn in the house. We've got films to watch, and we've got awards to announce. And a quick note about those awards, we'll be sending certificates to all of our winners after the show, so we won't be having anybody on stage today. We're gonna be having a special acknowledgement for all of our winners at the end. If your film or game level should happen to win an award, be sure to make a lot of noise to celebrate. Just make sure that you celebrate everybody's projects being featured here today. As somebody who's produced 2 TAP films, I know how much collaboration and hard work goes into this process. And now, to kick us off, I'm thrilled to introduce TAP's Associate Executive Director, Meredith Dean.
Thanks, Joseph and Yuritsa, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. We are still waiting for a couple of our schools, and I want to give a special shout out. We have several hundred people joining us online as we speak, including some participants in Kings County, California, who are tuning in live from their detention center. So we are thrilled that you could join us. As for us in this theater, my friends, this is the first time that we are back in person in 4 years. I am so proud of us, of this community. I'm so proud to be a New Yorker. This is the most resilient, most creative, most innovative, and absolute best city in the world. And I am even prouder to be part of an organization with the most brilliant participants, the most dedicated team, and most supportive partners in the world. Today is about celebrating our young creatives. That's you. You are the next generation of visionaries, storytellers, entrepreneurs, animators, and leaders. When you participate in our programs, you come away with the transferable skills you need to build a successful career. Here at TAP, we believe in developing the whole person who shows up to do a job, so that you can develop a genuine confidence in your right to have a seat at the table. That starts with story. The story of each person in a group. Who you are, how you got here. It starts with the collective story that the group wants to tell. We'll see those stories today. It starts with the story of our trainees' transition from our program into the industry. It's dazzling to watch you spread your wings and fly. We believe that nurturing both the person and the story is key to developing you, the next generation, of workforce in animation, VFX, game design, digital media, and technology. And we as an organization couldn't do this work without the nurturance we get from our incredible partners. Thank you, Commissioner Del Castillo and Aaliyah Jones-Harvey, Associate Commissioner of the Workforce Development and Educational Initiatives at the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment. Thank you, Commissioner Holmes, former Commissioner Ana Bermudez, Deputy Commissioner Sharon Goodwin, and Katrina Prelo, Director Emeritus of the Neighborhood Opportunity Network at the Department of Probation, for seeding this program so it could grow into the vibrant garden it is today. Thank you to our industry council and our studio partners who consult with us and, importantly, hire our graduates. To all of you who are in the audience today, our talent is ready. Special shout out to Kat Gulacci, our amazing recruiter who makes connections and magic happen every day. Thank you to our sponsors and funders for this showcase, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Giphy Arts, Paramount, and Superplastic. Thank you to the team at the iconic SVA Theater, and to our wonderful partners at BronxNet who are streaming this event live. Huge shout out and thanks to our amazing site partners, the teachers, principals, and support staff who make it possible for us to be on site every day, the probation officers, and supervising probation officers who make our NEON groups happen. Endless gratitude and big love to the TAP team, a small but mighty group who works harder and more passionately than anyone I know. And most importantly, thank you all for being here to celebrate the stories and incredibly hard work happening throughout New York City by people in places and spaces that don't usually get the spotlight. And speaking of the spotlight, and my fellow MCs note that we have a bit of a change here, I am delighted to welcome up Deputy Commissioner Sharon Goodwin of the New York City Department of Probation. Sharon is a longtime friend of this organization.
Now I gotta take off my glasses. I wish I could see y'all, but hello everyone. I wanted to say good morning, but we were on borderline good afternoon. On behalf of my commissioner, Juanita N. Holmes, she could not be here but wanted to, so I'm here. You have me instead, so I'm glad to be here. I wanted to first say congratulations to all of you. It is an honor to see you all today and celebrate the work you've done. Computer animation is one of the more vital career fields in the entertainment industry. With talented artists like you working on everything from animated films and television series to video games and motion graphics. The Made in New York Animation Project exists so you can have a hands-on approach to learning the professional animation software and skills needed to qualify for careers across a number of different fields. This summer, we are offering paid learning experiences to 500 young people who live in neighborhoods where there is a NEON. East New York, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, Jamaica, South Bronx, Northern Staten Island, and Harlem. I just want to say congratulations to the animators. Keep developing your passion.
Thank you, Deputy Commissioner Goodwin. It's been such a pleasure hearing from our supporters from the city. Thank you. Now, we would love to share some inspiring words. And, okay, so actually, we had a little change of plans. So, we're going to introduce another beautiful Castillo.
Oh, yes, the Commissioner de Castillo is going to be joining us on stage. Please welcome. Thank you.
We like to keep things interesting and change up the program and keep everyone on their toes. I am absolutely thrilled to be here after for the first in person. And for those of you that aren't here in person, just trust me, there's a lot of love in this room, and it's just really wonderful to be here with all of you to celebrate the Made in New York Animation Project. I do want to sort of echo what the Deputy Commissioner said and just really congratulate all of the participants. I know some of them are still filing in, but just for the record, just want to congratulate you on getting here, but also acknowledge the incredible support that you've had from your community of friends, family, industry partners, but not least Meredith, Dean, and Brian Austin, who have been shepherding this project for so long. The fact that we're standing here for the first time in person, I think speaks volumes to the work that they continue to do during the pandemic to keep this project going, keep our young people engaged, and continue to provide opportunities for our fellow New Yorkers. I also am incredibly proud to be partnering with the Department of Probation. I want to acknowledge Commissioner Holmes, Deputy Commissioner Sharon Goodwin, and especially Katrina Prelu, the director of the Neon Centers, who has been our partner from the beginning, working with my colleague, Aaliyah Jones-Harvey. The two of them have really been shepherding this program. Our partnership came a little later. I'll get into that in a moment, but I just really want to acknowledge the incredible work of Aaliyah and Katrina in moving this project forward. And then finally, I also want to acknowledge Amanda Nguyen, who helped organize today's event and just does an incredible job with our partnerships at MoM. For those of you who might not be familiar with our agency, the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment works to strengthen, promote, and grow New York City's creative sectors. That includes everything from film and television, theater, music, advertising, publishing, and digital content, including, of course, animation. These sectors contribute about 10% of New York City's gross domestic product at the tune of $150 billion and close to 500,000 jobs. But more importantly, they really define New York City as a global creative capital. It's why people want to live here, work here, visit here from all over the globe. Our mission is to connect New Yorkers to jobs in these creative sectors. And we do that through programs like the Animation Project, also the Made in New York Assistant Training Program, the Post-Production Program, Stagecraft, and Media Makers, as well as Sound Thinking. But the Made in New York Animation Project is one of our signature initiatives that's really focused on building a local talent pool to support the growth of New York City's digital media and technology sectors. Digital media includes video games. We released a report recently that shows that it's a $2 billion industry. Film, by contrast, which we've been doing for a little bit longer, is $82 billion. So there's a ton of opportunity to grow, and we know that Animation Project is going to be a huge part of that. I also want to congratulate TAP on, I think it's 15 years this year, right? 15 years of this incredible program. You know, MoM and DOP are slight latecomers. We came in 2017, but I have to say it's been a wonderful partnership and provided really great opportunities for our New Yorkers to get training and careers in animation, gaming, video effects industries, and really inviting all of you to tell your stories and gain access to critical services in the process. Each year, the program serves over 1,200 people. Since we started this partnership, in the last 6 years, we've served over 9,000 people. Yes. You know, our goal is certainly to provide new opportunities in the form of internships and jobs, but it's also to provide a lens into just other opportunities, even if people don't come into animation, just to have that experience of engaging community, learning new skill sets, not just technical, but personal skill sets. You know, I'm just a slight anecdote, and I know we want to get the program going, but I'm born and raised here in New York, and my journey to through the arts and television, the arts and entertainment space was not predetermined. It was something that I just sort of found my way in. When I was coming up, we did not have programs like the Animation Program project, and I think that if I did, I can't imagine what I would have been able to accomplish a little bit earlier in my career. But that's just to say, it's an incredible gift to have so much support as you're trying to find your way, whether as an animator or just where you want to head in the world. And so I really want to encourage you to continue to dig deep in this community, forge those relationships, because the people that you're sitting next to right now are the ones that are really going to help you as you move forward in life and your careers. I want to congratulate all of you on the incredible work that we're going to see today, but not just on screen, for the work that got you here today, again, the self-discipline, the hard work, the connections to community, and that openness to new experiences. And I hope you continue to carry that moving forward. Again, congratulations and enjoy today.
Thank you, Commissioner Del Castillo. And I also want to thank Commissioner Goodwin, which I didn't have an opportunity to before. Your words really resonated, and I hope everyone can implement them. Um, I would also like to thank and share the pleasure of some inspiring words from the TAP alum, Stefan Ramnarin. Stefan submitted a video message because he is currently working in the animation industry and is not able to attend in person today. So let's watch.
Hey everyone, Stefan here. Sorry I couldn't be there to talk live. I really wish I could. I would have loved to see everyone again. Hope I get to join next time. So a bit about my journey. I started at TAP's Neons. I used to skate in to the one in Jamaica, matter of fact. And I kept working through the program all the way up to the second VFX internship. And after the VFX internship, with TAP's help, I landed a position at Art Jail as a data tech. And I've been working double time to do that job and insist on any 3D project that I can while I'm there. I got to work on a few things that made it to TV, actually. This domino spot here, I won't play through the whole thing. I got to rig and animate this building transition, and the burger here, it's actually got a entire facial rig as well, but that was a whole other thing. I also did this couch in the LegalZoom commercial. They actually built a rig of the couch being able to eat the guy on set. They didn't build it to shoot him back out. They had set up a rig to pull, but the couch was disassembled at that point, so my job was to make it one solid piece and make it animate to look like it's spitting him out. And that went through a bunch of different rounds up until we got into this one. It was a lot of like more work than you would expect for just rigging a couch. I'm actually also on a project right now that I can't talk about again. Very cool, very fun, very simple but complex as well. For, I think I'm allowed to say it's for the Olympics, or tangentially related to the Olympics at least. I don't actually know that much about it, honestly. I'm just doing the work. Yeah. So all of these were a lot of fun to work on. And they all came with their like unique challenges, and not just like technical either. There was so much personal and professional hurdles that I had to go through while working on all these. For that, I really wanted to take a step back and really thank the TAP team, because on top of all the incredible technical skills that we learn at TAP, the personal and professional tools and skills the therapists provide and assist us in building really got me and my coworkers out of some really, really tough spots. Work is always stressful, especially starting out, juggling so much. Compound that with, the world that we live in today, and things can get really, really overwhelming. Being able to welcome in and create calmness and peace is huge. For myself, for my coworkers, who are echoing that I'm bringing that very welcome presence with me to work and when we're on projects. So in a way, TAP is helping all of them out through me when I think about it. That's kind of fun. Anyway, I've taken up a lot of time already, so it's time to pass off. So glad to have been able to participate today, and so thankful to everyone here for allowing me to speak, listening, wishing everyone lots of peace, lots of love, and very, very good fortune. He wanted to be in every take, so it has to be here for the sign-off. Goodbye, everyone.
Well, thank you, Stefan. Now that we started to settle in, I invite you to relax and kick back and get ready to enjoy some animations. In this segment, you'll see a compilation of films and training projects from the past year, participant gift submissions sponsored by our friends at Giphy Arts, and game design levels from our pop-up workshops in partnership with the City Council. Let's watch.
This is Class Girl's very first day of college at Michaela University. In the Big Apple, there's a lot of distractions. Help Class Girl achieve her dream of attending university.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs.
I finally made it to Planet Girls Club. This place is so wonderful. Estrella is getting along well with the other familiars. Although the journey was long, I was finally able to find acceptance. Everyone here is so cool and kind. PGC is definitely a place of unity, safety, and peace.
Give it up for all of that amazing work. I really loved seeing how many vastly different, diverse styles to animation we had going on. Like so many different art styles, so many different approaches. It was really cool. I'm thrilled to introduce today's next keynote speaker, the incredible Matt Munn. Matt is a creator with nearly 2 decades of experience in animation and the animation industry. He's worked as an animator, a voice actor, director, and executive producer. Over the years, he's been in dozens of projects, from Spies in Disguise to Open Season at various animation studios, including Sony Imageworks, DreamWorks Studios, Blue Sky Studios, and is now executive producing an animated project in early development at Disney Animation. He's also a hardworking and passionate member of TAP's board. Today, he's developing original stories on a specific mission to bring Black culture to animation in ways we have not yet seen. Please welcome Matt.
What's up, everybody? Let me get my stuff situated. How's everybody doing today? All right. So yes, wow. Apparently I'm incredible. How about that? Hey, I appreciate those words. Yeah, like Joseph, correct? Yes, like Joseph said, been in the industry for a while, about 20 years almost. Primarily as an animator. It's wild. It seems like it was just yesterday that I was first opening up Maya for the first time. For those who aren't familiar, Maya is the CG animation kind of industry standard, and it was the first program that I opened up where I actually did some computer art and animation, and I remember fumbling through it like a baby deer back in the day, and then one day you wake up and you're the old head in the studio, you know what I mean? And you're looking around like, okay, I guess I'm an OG now, And yeah, it's wild. 20 years is a long time, and there's some downsides to getting older. You got your knees don't work the same. You start losing track of all these new rappers, but there's some upsides, and one of those is wisdom that you gain. And after 20 years, working as an animator, I feel like I have a little bit of wisdom to impart, a few gems to bestow. So I'm going to give you three, my favorite three. But first, a little bit about my path into animation, since there are a lot of people here who are just beginning their creative journey. So growing up, I grew up in Delaware, and I was a bit of a nerd, gotta admit, not gonna lie. I was into comic books and video games, and I got good grades. My mom was a teacher, so I couldn't mess around. She had to be on point. So like a lot of kids like myself back then, this was the 90s. If you were doing good in school, you're going to be a doctor or you're going to be a lawyer, right? And so, my mom had it in my head that one day you're going to be a doctor, and I was set. Okay, I went through high school, and when it was time to apply for college, I applied for pre-medicine for all of my applications, and got accepted into University of Delaware as a pre-med major, and was like, awesome, I'm gonna be a doctor. And my last semester in high school, I'm sitting in class, and there's a guy next to me. His name was Cyrus Banerjee. I'll never forget this kid. He changed my life. He's sitting there with this big, thick book that said video game programming on it. And again, nowadays that might be normal, but back then I was like, what is that? What class is that from? And he's like, no, it's not from a class. I just bought it at the bookstore because I'm going to learn how to program video games. And I was like, like my brain blew up. I was like, what? Wait a minute. First of all, I was like, you're going to learn something on your own outside of school? That's crazy. And then I was like, also, I guess there are people who make the games that I love playing. Like, why am I not doing that for a job? So I ended up getting to the University of Delaware and immediately changing my major to computer science. I was like, all right, I'm going to program video games. So I'm in it. Computer science is not an easy, track. I was going through all the difficult classes, the crazy math classes, the programming classes. I mean, 3 years in, I'm like a junior now, and I'm thinking, okay, I want to get a leg up. Like, a lot of these classes I'm taking aren't really specifically video game programming classes yet. So I'm going to go have a chat with the graphics professor, the chair of the graphics department. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, how do I get, a leg up? I want to program video games. Like, what can I do, with the graphics thing to get into it? And he was like, I like your energy. He was like, why don't you come and help out some of these PhD students that I'm working with who are doing some some facial recognition algorithms and stuff. He was like, but we need somebody they're going to program these things that are going to take webcam information and drive 3D models, facial models. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? He was like, we need somebody to learn this program called Maya and then build some faces for the PhD students to work with. So I was like, okay. And I got Maya and he gave me a intro to Maya, learning, how to, the introductory kind of book. And as I started getting into it, I was like, uh-oh, I may have realized that I made a mistake doing this computer science thing for 3 years because I love this stuff right here. And I was like, what do I do? I realized that, a lot of I was a junior going into my senior year, so I'd already been looking for like potential future video game programming jobs. And each one of them had also alongside of it, the computer artist job next to the programming job. So I was like, dang, I want to go for the art thing. So I talked to a mentor, and she was like, hey, listen, you're late in the game. It's going to be hard for you to maybe make that transition now. But if you're really into it, like maybe take an art minor. You got, your senior year. You can try to get as many classes in, and maybe, you can apply to computer science schools for your graduate program, and art schools at the same time. So I did that. I worked my butt off. I tried to put together a portfolio. I was drawing. I was taking all these art classes, and I applied to all these schools. I got into a few computer science got accepted into a few computer science schools, or schools for computer science, and got rejected by all the art schools except for one, and that was SCAD. And what's crazy is one of those computer science schools was a really highly ranked computer science schools, Carnegie Mellon. It was one of the 3 top master's programs for computer science. So I was like, oh, what do I do? So I go to this same mentor, and I'm like, hey, listen, here's my situation. I've got an opportunity to potentially go to Carnegie Mellon to get a computer science master's degree, or go to SCAD and try this art thing out. And she was like, you would be crazy not to go to Carnegie Mellon. If you go there, you're set. You're going to be in a computer science guy. You're going to make a lot of money. Computer science is, the business. This was 2002. So I was kind of torn because I was like, if I go the art route, there's a lot of risk there. And if I do the computer science thing, it's safe. And, I have a sense that I'm going to be good. I'm going to make money, this and that. But I was, like I said, I was really torn. So I called my mama. And I remember where I was when I was coming out of the dining hall on the phone with her. And I was like, Mom, I don't know what to do. She said, what is your heart telling you to do? And I remember saying, my heart is telling me I want to, go down this, art path. And she said, well, that's the answer. And so I was like, all right, let's do this. So that brings us to gem number 1, which is follow your heart. Following your heart leads you to your passion, and passion is important. It's the fuel that drives great art, It's the thing that's going to keep you working diligently. I know that when I'm doing something that I love, which is animation now and some, storytelling and everything, that passion will get you so into your work. You go into what I always, how many people are familiar with The Legend of Korra, Avatar, The Last Airbender? So most of the room. I call it the avatar state. I will get into the avatar state because I'm so into the work that I lose track of time. I become one with it, and that's when the best stuff comes, out of me. It's because I'm so passionate about this stuff, and so I really encourage everyone to follow that passion, follow what feels good, which takes courage a lot of times, especially when it's not the safe thing, when it's not the popular decision. I know I'm talking about this track I was on to getting into the feature film industry as an animator, but you might not have that aspiration. You might say, hey, I want to make 2D animation for my YouTube channel, and people might be like, that's crazy, that's not a real job, whatever. Follow your passion, follow your heart, because that's you doing that is going to be your best gift to the world, your best creation is going to be that thing that comes from a very real, true place. This is how you find your voice, your personal flavor. That's the best gift you have to give. We each have unique experiences that we're pulling from, and so when you dig deep into that, that's where you get the best stuff. Writers for your stories, animators for that acting choice. You know what I mean? I was one of 2 black animators on Spies in Disguise, and so I found myself having to pull from my, my true, experiences in black culture to pour into Lance Sterling in some of those shots that I worked on. And so, rather than imitating, it's like, this is why they bring you in, because you have a specific, unique experience that you can contribute. So that, gem number 1, follow your heart. I actually didn't even go into SCAD as, intending to animate. In fact, I actually was originally going there to do CG modeling. And so, again, I took a 2D animation class, was doing the flip book thing, or the 2D traditional drawing. And as soon as I pressed play and watched this character kind of move across the screen, I was like, again, pivot. I'm like, I am now in love with animation. Forget this modeling thing. So I followed my heart again and began focusing on animation. And for anybody who's an animator, I heard, that it doesn't take long when you first make that decision to animate before you realize that your animation, those first few animations that you do don't look much like anything like any of the stuff that people consider good. So I was starting to compare my work to the stuff I was looking at online. Some of the stuff that was coming from some of the top students in the classes that I was in, and some of especially the work on, on the big screen. I was like, yo, my stuff looks nothing like that. So I realized I had to grind. I had to go hard. I was listening to a lot of hip hop, and this was like 2003, and anybody familiar with Freeway's What We Do Is Wrong song? Okay, so we gotta hustle till the sun come up. Crack a 40 with sun. Yeah, I was listening to that on replay, and and I was grinding. I felt like I had to compensate for the fact that I didn't have that undergrad in at an art school that a lot of my classmates had. I had this computer science background, so these artists were painting and drawing, and they had all the lingo and everything, and I was intimidated. So I was like, I had to make up for that. So I was going hard. I was doing countless animation tests, one rough looking, piece of animation after the other. I started doing this thing, 10-second club. There's like an 11-second club now. Some of my artists, my animator folks out here might be familiar. It's like a monthly contest where they give you a 10-second piece of dialogue, and then you got to animate to it and submit it by the end of the month, and then they pick a winner each month. So I was doing that every month. All of this in addition to my class assignments. I was doing late nights, studying online reels, finding books to read, tutorials, constantly working on my demo reel, using the best of those animation tests. For every one of those tests that I put on my reel, 3 or 4 went into the lost files, the archives, I will never show this to anybody ever because it's terrible, archives. And eventually, after dozens of dialogue tests, pantomime shots, run and walk cycles, my animation started to begin looking more and more like some of the stuff I was seeing online. And before I knew it, I started to animating on par with some of the top students in my class, which brings us to gem number 2, which is go hard. This stuff is like getting swole in the gym. This is like your artistic muscle getting swole. The idea that you either have it or you don't is a myth. That's a fixed mindset. We got to have a growth mindset. Every one of your favorite artists that you follow on Instagram or whatever, they all have countless reps under their belt. And we're not seeing that. We're seeing all the highlights, you know what I mean? And it's important to remember that. We don't talk about all the reps. We see Steph Curry hitting threes and doing all this stuff, but we don't see the thousands of threes he's shooting up every week in practice, you know what I mean? So as an animator, animate as many shots as you can. I got into the habit of doing small 7 to 10-second shots so I could just get through them and get those reps, learn from them, move on to the next, move on to the next. If you're a designer, draw, fill up sketchbooks, iPads, or whatever. If you're a writer, write. Just write your butt off. It's going to be terrible. Just keep going and watch yourself get better. Challenge yourself to find time and ways to get that extra exercise in. And I think it's important to say, I don't mean to do this in an unhealthy or toxic way. Plan so that you also have a life. You know what I mean? Because You got to get out and experience the world. You got to see some things, make some friends, get your heart broken, live a little. Because as a good animator colleague of mine told me, if you can't create the illusion of life if you don't have one, so balance is important. So let's see, after a good year and a half of animation school, my work was starting to look stronger and stronger, like I said, plus graduation was coming. So I figured, you know what, I think I'm ready. It's time to start taking some shot attempts at getting a job, right? Surely the animation industry was going to be impressed with what I had been able to do as a student, and see the tremendous potential and give me an opportunity somewhere, right? But nah. That's where this is the point where I started taking some serious L's. I started, sending out my reel to all the big dog companies, Blue Sky, Pixar, DreamWorks. I was hitting them all up. Disney, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like this is part of the process. And I was hitting up all the internships, any opportunity I could find. I was sending my work, my resume, my cover letter, speech, and all that stuff, and getting rejection after rejection after rejection, and that was demoralizing. I was also continuing to do the 10-second club. I didn't miss a month, and I lost every month. There's only one winner, and it wasn't me. And I was noticing that I was getting discouraged because I'm like seeing these winning animation tests, and I'm like, dang, I'm still not they're so damn good, so untouchable, So I was like having to fight through that discouraging, very the self-esteem. Do I believe in myself? Can I even do this? Did I make the wrong choice? Should I have gone to Carnegie Mellon? You know what I mean? So fortunately, I kept going. I was addressing notes. I actually was emailing some of the pros that I found online. I found a guy from Blue Sky. I won't say his name, but he's somebody that still drives me to this day, because I reached out to him and he kind of played me. And he was like, I'm not even willing to review this. You're not even on the level that you know what I'm saying, that where you deserve my attention to even give you some feedback. Because I was like, hey, can you give me some feedback? I'm trying to get to where you are. I'm from the Northeast. I grew up in Delaware. I want to work at Blue Sky. I don't want to go to Cali, whatever. And so all these things were just kicking my butt, but I kept going. I kept applying. I updated my reel, started and finished new animation tests, and eventually an internship opportunity became available at Fathom Studios, a small studio in Atlanta. And I went for it, I applied, and boom, I ended up getting an opportunity. And I may have cried a little bit, but it was a big deal because I had busted my tail. And I actually got into it was a small studio, a small internship, but it was something. It was my foot in the door, which brings us to the third gem, which is don't ever give up. I watched the TED Talk on grit on YouTube. It's kind of a popular. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but the speaker was talking about how grit beats talent, and it was a new concept to me. And she said that they did studies where they were tracking these young kids all through into adulthood, and they found that the most successful ones were not the most talented ones. The ones that tested with the high IQs and everything at the beginning, they weren't the ones that were achieving the most and finding the most success. It was all the grittiest kids. You know what I mean? It was all the kids that could take ass kickings one after the other and kept getting back up. That Rocky mentality. The ones that were relentless, consistent, persistent, just, despite the difficulty. You know what I mean? And that, that was like an eye-opener. What it tells you is that, a lot of these people we look up to, they weren't special. They just didn't quit. You know what I mean? And so I realized, you got to expect some of this stuff to be hard and, embrace that. So many of the best things in life are right on the other side of hard, I love sports, and these days you hear a lot about that dog mentality. They'll be like, oh, Jimmy Butler, he's so good. He's got that dog in him. You know what I mean? Jamal Williams, he's a running back for the Lions. He said that anybody can be great, when it's easy. You know what I mean? When they're not tired. He said, you know, late in the game in the fourth quarter, when everybody's tired and beat up, that's when champions emerge. You know, he actually said, so if you're going to piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat. And I love that because it's just like a reminder to just keep going. And I'm a big snowboarder. I love snowboarding. I go all over the place every season. And oftentimes I go with a friend who's a first timer. And every time I tell them, you're going to get your butt kicked for the first like 2 or 3 days. Is there anybody in here who's snowboarded before? Yes. So you can attest. You're going to suck. And you're going to be on this slope looking at people going, just riding. And you're going to be like, impossible. Impossible. And it's not like skateboarding. Like you can get on a skateboard for the first time and just roll a little bit. But snowboarding, you're going to be doing this all day long down the mountain. And it's going to be like that the next day, and then the next day, and you're going to just be sucking, and then one day it's just going to click, and then you just get it. And I think what happens is a lot of people, they're like, oh, snowboarding, I'm going to try it out, and they get their butt kicked, and they're like, oh, I can't do that. That's too hard for me. I don't have the balance. I don't have this and that. And so I feel like this stuff is very similar to that. It's just as long as you can remain consistent and persistent, and don't give up, you'll be surprised at what point at some point you start seeing the benefits of that. You'll take off and you know, just you'll start seeing that progress, the fruits of that work. So when you're chasing that thing, you know, just don't give up. It could be right around the corner, just like in snowboarding. So, all right, I know I've been talking a lot, so let's just get to in conclusion. Fathom was just an internship, as I said, so I knew it was only temporary. I had to keep working on my personal stuff still after work. I was still doing 10-second club. Even as I was doing my internship stuff in Atlanta, I would come home from work and get down with the 10-second club thing. And then 1 month, I finally won that thing. And I was like, after like a year and a half of every month doing it, I won. And I was super excited, and sure enough, I got an email from some guy named Paul, and he was like, hey, dude, your 10-second animation clip was dope. I saw it, you know, because they put it up on their website when you win. And he was like, are you looking for work? Because they're hiring here at Sony for open season, and we're looking for people. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for work. Let's do this. And so I got hired I applied, you know, got an interview. They liked my reel. What's funny is they were like, when I got the interview, they didn't want to talk about anything but that one shot. They were like, yeah, but tell us about that shot. And it was just surprising me, like I had done dozens and dozens and dozens of shots, and that one was that bow, got me in. And you know, that was the true beginning of my like professional career as an animator. And since then, I'd worked on 5 years at Sony, worked on, you know, Surf's Up, Open Season, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I Am Legend, a bunch of other stuff. Went to DreamWorks, How to Train Your Dragon, Puss in Boots, went to Blue Sky, few Ice Age movies, Rio, Ferdinand, Spies in Disguise, Peanuts, all this stuff. And just had a really blessed career, man. Yeah. I even had an opportunity to do I was doing scratch voice, again, talking about, you know, channeling that unique thing that you bring to the table. Like I said, I was one of few black, you know, artists in the studios at the time. And Open Season, the Bears was voiced by Martin Lawrence, the first one. Second was Mike Epps. They were having me come in to do scratch dialogue before they paid the big dogs to come in. And so I was happy to just get up off my animated, you know, up from animating my shot to, you know, happy to go into the studio real quick across the hall to just record some lines for them. And what ended up happening was on the third Open Season, something happened with Mike Epps, and they were like, yeah, let's just use Matt. And so if you go and watch Open Season 3, I'm the voice of Boog the bear and Doug the bear, which is crazy. And that was just me giving them something that was, you know, what I had to give, which was my unique experience and skill or whatever. And so that was cool. And recently, we mentioned directing. I had an opportunity to direct one of the Scratch shorts that's on Disney Plus right now. And then, as you all know, Blue Sky recently was shut down, which was sad in a lot of ways, but it was a blessing for me because it got me kind of put the fire in me to do this thing that I most recently have been aspiring to do, which is to actually play a part in creating the stories that are being animated. As an animator, I've been helping, animate on the vision of a lot of brilliant, awesome people. But I found that I wasn't working on a lot of projects that featured Black culture in a significant way, and I wanted to do something about that. And so after the studio was shut down, I started jamming on an idea I had, and all those principles. I applied that to now writing, and story concept creation, and went through that same process and ended up, again, lots of rejections, but one studio was interested, and now I'm jamming on it in early development, like Joseph said, at Disney's TV Animation, and we are speaking that this thing will be greenlit to go to series and will be an Afrocentric sci-fi fantasy show on Disney Plus in a few years. I am speaking it, and that's going to happen. So, pop quiz time. What are the 3 gems? Who knows the first one? Who remembers the first one? Shout it out. Follow your heart. That's right. What about the second one? Go hard. And what about the third one? That's right. Follow your heart, go hard, and don't give up. And please don't give up, because we need us. This work that we do is important. It's important that we tell our stories, because representation matters, and the world needs to see all the facets of your humanity, your culture, your nerdy sci-fi, fantasy, science fiction concept, but also because we have dope stories to tell, y'all. The industry needs us. We don't get the best possible meals when we're not cooking with all the spices, right? So similarly, the animation industry needs, what we have to bring, the flavors that we bring to the acting in our animated shots. Like I used the Lance Sterling example, the flavor we bring to those designs, the flavor we bring to the story concept that we pitch or write or direct. And TAP is a champion for that cause. TAP is doing this work. So, they're making this field of artistry that has this hefty barrier for entry, accessible to the people in a real way. Every studio that I've worked at, especially now, is talking about wanting to do more to increase representation and diversity in our field. And, TAP is showing us how it's done. So that's why, I'm so happy to be, taking part in what we're doing here, and why it's such an honor to be, have had the opportunity to come up here and talk to y'all. So thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's hear up for Matt Munn. I also resonated with what you said about getting started with Maya, and actually I got started with Maya with TAP. I had no idea about that software, and I'm so grateful that TAP was also able to give me the opportunity that you mentioned, that people are going out there and giving people. But how are we all doing? Ready to check out more animated stories from our participants? Ready for some awards? Well, good, because here we go. Without further ado, we're proud to present this year's winning films. And as a reminder, here at TAP, we feel it's so important to recognize the creativity and talents of everyone who contributed to the work you're about to see. So the videos will be followed by credits. After that, we will continue with the show, so don't go anywhere. Now, let's see this amazing work. Grab some popcorn or something.
Haley the comet is small and lonely when she sees a star with a light coming from it. Fazed and amazed, she sets off on a bend, hoping to find and make a new friend. In her pursuit, she discovers new things, like a giant planet circled by rings. Upon these rings sit many moons, and they let her know she should catch the star soon. Haley is beaming ahead while chasing the light when she comes across a horrific sight. A bear trapped by a jellyfish? What a perplexing plight! Struck by pity, Haley floats to the bear and with a swift bump nudges him free of the snare. Finally out of the tentacle mess, the bear is grateful and now free of all stress. So they ask to join Haley on her star-chasing quest.
What are you doing here? Why'd you show up?
It's been 2 years and not even a call or text or post.
Ma, I talked to you yesterday.
Smells like sadness in here.
Not for nothing, she's no good.
You weren't expecting us. Why are you making so much food?
Well, I was expecting company before you showed up unexpectedly.
Show your father some respect.
Respect? Is it out of respect when you guys come barging through my door? To gain respect, you have to give it. So I'd like to share some of this food I worked on with you and catch up again tomorrow, since my guests are
How's
here.
a respect when you're kicking your old man out?
I agree with Joe. Thank you for the meal. Smells just like Grandma used to make it.
Thanks, Ma. At least someone understands what I meant. Your parents? Yeah. They're pretty involved.
we're back. Today I got a lot of good news for y'all. I just got the contract from Dunkin' Records. We hit $500,000 on this video. I just want to say I appreciate all the support that I get from y'all, and we gonna make it. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna. Oh. What's going on? Oh my gosh! Everybody's coming. Hey, what's up? Mom, come look at this. Oh my god. Is that Ken Carson? Nah, wait, what's going on? Oh.
You think you're gonna be famous?
I hope. Look, Drake even commented. Now, this is really crazy.
I don't believe it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't believe it.
We got 500,000 views, Mom.
I don't believe it.
Oh my. You're gonna be great one day.
Huh.
You're gonna prosper. Keep up the good work. Thank you guys so much. Oh my. Oh. Can't breathe.
Don't catch a heart attack now. This is just likes.
Really?
It's just likes.
Wow. Hey, guess what?
What?
I'm gonna be famous, bro, but I don't think my mom believes in me.
Really? Don't worry about it. She's gonna be happy when she sees you on the billboard.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. You're gonna be the most famous person I know.
Thank you. I really believe that. Right, I'm about to go to the store though for me and then hit the studio. So I'm gonna call you back after I'm done with the song. I'm gonna send you the track too. I bet. I'm stepping up, yeah, I'm taking that crown. So everybody got down, you come on my way, it's a battle one now. You cannot do nothing, run, I'm out of town. I'm the queen, yes, bitches in my ear, they telling me plus. I'ma take heed and do my best, cause listen to pellets, put me to the test. They say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but I'm not yet full yet, gotta eat more, I'm the realest and that's why they hate. I'm stepping up, yeah, I'm taking that crown. So everybody bow down, you come on my way, it's a battle one now. You cannot do nothing, run, I'm out of town. I'm the queen, yes, bitch in my ear, they telling me quest. I'ma take heed and do my best, cause listen to presence, put me to the test. They say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but I'm not cool yet, gotta eat more. I'm the realest and that's why they hate. If it ain't bread, then get it on my plate. I'm trying to get paid, I've been on my way. Cash money is all for the fame, so it's really money to get out my way.
Know your place, you worthless specimen!
What you get, dork? This is the last time this is gonna happen to me.
What's good with you, boy?
What's good?
Hey, don't talk to me like that. What did I do?
Dude, nothing is good. You never stand up for me anymore. Bam. Ah!
I can do something with this.
Why am I so sticky?
Hell, wait!
I think it's time to stand up for myself since nobody's doing it for me.
This isn't you, Humphrey. Just like Spidey. Now the world's watching. Is this who you really want to be? Now's your moment. Everyone's watching.
Who do you think I should be? I used to be human, but no one can recognize me.
I think you should be better than the people who bullied you. Even better than me.
Hey! Ah!
I still don't know why we decided to come to Scarlett's house. Oh, don't worry, Maji. It will be fun. Maybe she has a big TV. I don't know. I just have a really bad feeling about this. I mean, Scarlett isn't exactly the nicest person.
Hey guys, it's about time you showed up.
Okay.
Well, don't just stand there. Come on in, slowpokes. This. We're playing this.
Okay, whatever floats your goat.
That's a funny thing to say, Kalamani. I'd love for you to go first.
Scarlett, how exactly do you play this game?
Oh, it's easy. You just learn as you go. Go ahead, Kalamani. Spin the spinner.
I'd rather watch you play.
I said go first, Kamalani.
Should we leave a note for her parents or something?
Listen, I just take whoever the spinner points to. You were supposed to make it land on any of your friends.
Ew, they are not my friends.
Yeah, who would be your friend? You're freaking annoying.
This is hell.
Any place with you is hell.
Sir, we have a situation. Art need our help.
Connect me to Earth.
Dear Earth people, please clean Earth. You are in great danger. Our records show that there are mass floods, powerful hurricanes, rapidly rising temperatures, and sea levels. If you do not reverse course, many more will die. However, if you heed our warning, in 20 years, we will come back with a gift.
This is just another government operation to scare us. You have to be delusional if you think I'm trusting this.
We need to take care of our home. We just can't keep doing what we've been doing.
Some people believe the aliens, and they decide that they want to take care of the Earth.
Others remain ignorant and stuck in their ways of opposition and destruction of the Earth. After 20 years, the good people are successful in their mission.
Dear Earth people, we have been watching you for 20 years. For those who have listened and took to heart the seriousness of our warning to change your ways, it is time to give you our gift.
Meow. Meow. Meow.
Meow. Meow, meow, meow.
Meow. Meow.
Congratulations to all of our winners. Yes. That was some incredible design and animation. The clown one, the directing, oh my god, that was horrifying. Um, and now, for a few TAP journeys. Dozens of our alumni are currently working in the field, and all of them say hello and send their regrets that they couldn't be here today. But they are still sending in a couple of videos. Earlier we heard from Stefan Ramnary, and I'm happy to say that another one of our TAP alums, Asar Johnson, is also sent in a video sharing their experience in animation and the TAP program. So let's watch a little.
Good afternoon. My name is Asar Johnson, and I'm an alumni from the Animation Project. Right now, I study computer animation and VFX at the School of Visual Arts, and this summer I'll be starting an internship as a Pixar undergraduate intern in California, so that's exciting. I got my start in 3D from the Animation Project actually in my junior year of high school, where I started in the Harlem Labs learning 3ds Max. And I think my first project was just like making a dragon or something, but I was so excited about it because I really started as a 2D animation student at the High School of Art and Design. And once TAP introduced me to 3D, it just became so exciting to me that I kind of just committed myself completely to it, right to the point where I'm studying it now in college, and I want to make my career path focused on that. So I think the animation project really gave me a strong foundation just in the 3D animation pipeline in general, just for them to expose us to things like Maya, Nuke, and Unreal Engine. And over the years as I was here, they just kept exposing us to different programs, but they actually did give us a really in-depth understanding of everything, to the point where when I actually got into school and started doing other studying, I had a foundation already in 3D that I could go to that made it a lot easier for me to understand things. So I think that with the animation project, you really have the tools to have a really strong foundation, and with enough drive and passion and luck, you can probably get an opportunity anywhere. Thank you.
Thanks so much to Asar for sharing their TAP story. And now, please join us in welcoming Aisha Purvis for one of TAP's amazing alumni. She's currently getting her master's in animation and visual effects. Aisha is going to share her TAP journey with me and Yuritsa, and we're going to have a little conversation at the end about what it's like to participate in TAP. So, welcome, Aisha.
Hello, thank you guys for having me. And shout out to the TAP students. You guys are very talented. So you guys should really celebrate that, because that was really amazing. I'm a TAP alumni, so I'm just going to speak a bit about my experience at TAP. So TAP has been such a great community for me since the day I got accepted into the program. I discovered TAP right before going back to my master's last year. I'm currently a graphic designer, and I have studied it since high school, but I realized I wanted more, and I knew exactly what that was. So since a very young age, I've just always loved animation. So I realized I needed to go back to school to pursue that. Before doing so, I decided to find a program that could help me give me a sense of that, and that's when I came across TAP. TAP was able to embody all of these characteristics of being determined, uplifting, and inspiring. We were always encouraging each other, being kind, and overall just really engaged in the content that was being taught. What I've learned is to be inspired, you need to be around the inspired. Sometimes you have to step outside of your comfort to seek a community that will help push you closer to your dreams. Doing and experiencing new things can seem scary at first, but it'll always be worth it. Coming into a community like TAP was a bit scary, yet exciting to me. I then realized I was just scared of my potential as an animator and how far I could go, because I was that determined. So I would say never be scared of your power as a creator and embrace it. You could be changing the world through your stories and characters and creating a better generation. I would not have been able to learn this without TAP. TAP has pushed me to be more determined than ever. Because of them, I feel more confident in my career and my current studies at Brooklyn College. I am currently working towards my MFA in digital animation and visual effects. TAP will always be a safe space and creative home for me. If you are interested in TAP, I highly encourage you to join. The amount of opportunities that we're giving, the exposure, the support, it was very amazing. Lastly, I would encourage everyone to always take on challenges and become the best you creatively, emotionally, and spiritually. As creatives, we often try to push and perfect ourselves to the limits. I would say go at your own pace, be kind to yourself and your work. You will eventually become the best you throughout TAP in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aisha.
Thank you.
I just want to transition into a little conversation between the three of us, and I wanted to elaborate on what she was saying and share my own experience. So she was explaining how her background as a graphic designer, and then how like through TAP and through her going through all these experiences, she transitioned onto animation. And it allowed her to just explore that in college. And for me personally, I was torn between graphic design as well and animation. And like I started TAP when I was a senior in high school. So I was just very confused into what to like do. And I was like, let me try out this program and see like what it can give me in terms of coming to a conclusion and a decision. And it was like non-commitment where I had to be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for 4 years. Like Mattman elaborated his like going into a major and then switching. So I was like able to have this opportunity where I didn't have to fully commit to a major and just like go through it and then switch. So a little speed up, I was able to like just go through this entire TAP training program, level 2, and then I did Giphy, and like all of this taught me so much that I was able to like come into a conclusion. Sadly, it was not the one that Aisha made where she decided to go straight into animation, but for me, I felt personally that I was a multimedia person. I like to paint, I like to draw, I like to animate, I like to do typography, work 3D, physically. I wanted to do everything. So I personally chose to go with graphic design just so it can introduce me to all of those things. And even now, like I have a class where it's like a Photoshop class, and they had us do animations. I learned through TAP to do storyboards, and I started implementing that into my degree and my program. And it was so much fun. I had to like make an animation. I'm like, yay, we're doing this again. But if you guys have any inputs, I don't want to take it away.
I mean, yeah, similarly, I went into graphic design at Pratt Institute for a little while, and I found that it was engaging and exciting, but for me personally, I love storytelling and getting to create like a full narrative that really inspires me and drives me as an artist. And I felt while I was doing a lot of my graphic design and commission work, I was doing some freelance stuff, it felt more like just like a client commission type thing where they were like, oh, I have a menu. I'm like, that's cool.
Or
what
a logo.
font do you want? And that was like about it. But when I started engaging more with the TAP program over the summertime, while they were still remote during the pandemic and stuff, I started reevaluating like just really what inspires me as an artist and what I can bring as an artist to the table. I have a little bit of a queer background and a little bit of a culturally Hispanic background. And I think it's important that I should never have to set any of those things aside for commissionable work. I want to be able to tell stories with authenticity.
Yeah, not to say that graphic design is a bad thing. It's still amazing. It's amazing. It's just I'm still a designer now, but I think animation gives me more flexibility. It helps me tell stories a bit better and create these amazing characters, bring them to life, and I think, like Matt said, we do need more faces in the industry, black and brown faces. So yeah, I've been enjoying it, my time at Brooklyn College. It's been challenging, but cool. And I just wanted to state, like on the credits, I saw one of my professor names, so shout out to him, Mark. But thank you.
I also want to elaborate on like not only the animation aspect of TAP, but also the workforce development. I was talking to these people about how I did not know how to write emails before. Like I would just write like sent from my iPhone, like that would be the ending. And then with TAP, like we went through all these steps to getting these badges, and one of them was like teamwork and project organization. So I was able to learn like with writing emails, you have to address the person, be professional. Now I know you end with best regards, kind regards, all of these cool things, and that helped me like really communicate with other people. And like I know that in a professional environment, especially now in college, I have to like work with a team, or even after college when I'm doing self like projects, I have to like be able to communicate well and get that like those things out there. And I really am so grateful for TAB because I got so many outer skills and communication with like building portfolios, cover letters. I use all of that right now, and I even go back to references that we made in the groups, and then I'm like, let me take this cover letter and like template that we made together and let me like implement what I have to bring to it, and it's just amazing. Well, I could really talk all day, honestly. Thank you, Aisha, for your beautiful speech and for joining us in this conversation. Our event is almost over, but before we say goodbye, our Super Plastic have some super awesome collectibles to give away today, so let's see who won.
Now announcing the winning numbers. Okay, so for the first raffle, we have 8130110. Ooh, she won. Congrats. Our second winner will be 8130028. Awesome. Our third winner, 813083. Someone in the corner there. 813015. Yeah. 813042. Oh, the incredible Matt Munn. 813097. Noise. 813035. Oh, another one. And 813085. Ah, a double.
Well, if you have a winning number, be sure to stop by the Super Plastic table on your way out to claim your collectible. You must have your ticket or a photo of your ticket in order to redeem your prize.
And now, to close out our event, please welcome TAP's founder and executive director, Brian Austin.
All right, everybody. Let's give it a hand to our wonderful MCs over here. I'll be quick because I know it's been a long afternoon. Can I just get everyone who's participated in a TAP group to stand up? Let's give everyone a round of applause. All you TAP participants. I love it when I come up to speak and I empty the room. That's like the best. But I'll be quick. So TAP was founded with the knowledge that everyone has unique potential. It speaks to something Matt was talking about. Everyone is a visionary inside. Everyone has a vision, right? and everyone can make a contribution. But what do we do with these ideas? So if you have an idea, what do you do with it? So for me, TAP groups were created as kind of a laboratory for these ideas to develop. And we had to have a couple of ingredients. First, of course, is the idea. The next ingredient for me and for TAP is a willing, engaged team. I think it really takes a team to take something to the next level. And then, of course, there's the technology. You have to know how to use technology, and it could be as simple as a number 2 pencil. Remember that. You don't need big computers to do things, but just to have some tool and some craft that you can use. And then create. That's the next thing, is just create. Make stuff, build stuff, create stuff, right? And then one of the things that happens in that process is we learn to come up against opinions that we don't agree with. We may want to take the story in a certain direction. Other people may want to take it in another direction. To me, that's one of the beauties of the TAP model too, is you get to sit with somebody who might not agree with you, and you get to work it out because you're both, or all of you have this shared vision, and you learn to compromise, which is like super important, I think, in this day and age. You get to work on a common goal. In the process of this group work, one develops a sense of what it takes to get something done. It takes a lot of work, and you guys all know that, those of you who have worked on these films. You get to know what compromise looks like. Like you have this vision, and it might not come out the way you want it to come out. That's one of the things for me about being an artist, is you have this really beautiful, ideal vision about what something is going to be, and then when you see it, maybe when you see it on the screen, I remember all I used to see when I made an animation and looked at it was all I looked at were the flaws. So the thing that taught me is you just want to do that again and again and again so that you get better and there are less flaws in your work. But get used to the fact that there will always be flaws in your work. Nothing's going to be perfect. But the thing you have to do is just create, create, create. So keep doing that. You guys have done a good job of doing that. And the other thing that I think is really important is where you put your energy is what will develop. So if you focus on negative thoughts, you focus on you're not good, you don't have this, you don't have that, that's what's going to build. So focus on the things that you want to make grow, and where you put your energy, something will grow from that energy. Again, it kind of links up with Matt's thing of just like never giving up and just keep following your heart, and you will get there. Thanks everyone for participating in this event. Most of all for the participants. Without you guys, what would we be doing? Not much. So keep coming to groups, everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Brian. That was very inspirational. We have one more exciting thing to share. We are thrilled to announce that registration is officially open for the Made in New York Animation Project Summer Program in partnership with our Neighborhood Opportunity Network. This virtual career readiness program will take you through the animation pipeline and help you build your resume, cover letter, and portfolio. You'll get to make original animated GIFs and be eligible to earn over $1,000. Go to our website to review eligibility requirements and sign up if you can. And now, back to you, our amazing audience. We want to take a moment to acknowledge our winners today.
If you have won, if your film has won an award today, please stand up. And please remain standing. If your film, game level, or artwork has been featured on screen, please join us in standing. And if you're here supporting a friend, student, or family member who has created a piece of work, stand up with us. If you're here supporting the mission of TAP or the Made in New York Animation Project, join us standing. If you're proud or excited or moved by anything you saw today, you can stand up. The point is, we want people to stand up. If you worked or spoke during the event today, stand up, and let's hear a shout out for everybody who made today possible. A huge thanks to our incredible behind the stage scene with Ellen, Nelson, Art, and the SVA Theater. So grateful.
Well, congratulations to our winners, and thank you so much for everyone who came today and celebrated this community's work on the big screen. For more information about TAB, stay connected. Don't forget to check out our summer program. Have a good day, everybody.